Firstly, on Brexit then, it seems no progress between the British and the EU sides. What do you make of what's happened up till now?
Well, I think what's happening in Westminster is chaos. I think we can just see that being repeated day after day. And there's nothing good to come from Brexit. The people of Ireland did not vote for Brexit. It's been foisted upon us by this British government. So I think as we get towards this countdown towards the Brexit date, people in Ireland are very, very worried about their future. People in Ireland are very, very worried about, even in the event of the withdrawal agreement in its current form going through, we're still going to be left high and dry in many, many areas.
The European Commission said the talks yesterday between Geoffrey Cox on the one hand and Michel Barnier on the other were all about the backstop, trying to find legal ways that would please the British side, but no solution, they said, after those talks. Given the number of days we've got left, that doesn't sound very promising, does that?
It doesn't sound promising in terms of what the British are demanding, but I think, we're all very clear that Theresa May negotiated the withdrawal agreement in its current form. We're also very clear that the EU have said that they are not for reopening that withdrawal agreement. So any of the fancy footwork or creative language around trying to give comfort to the British government, I'm content with language, but we cannot see anything that undermines the withdrawal agreement, its legal standing, and we certainly cannot see the backstop in any way undermined. There cannot be no time limits, there cannot be unilateral withdrawals. That in itself would actually render the backstop ineffective, so that is not where we can be, and I'm confident that throughout all of this negotiation at the EU side have been firm on that.
Are we headed for no deal?
I think that we're increasingly looking more like that. I think that we're very worried about that. I mean, a no deal scenario would be catastrophic for the island of Ireland. It's not in anybody's interest. So I hope that we don't end up in a no deal situation. We very much want to see a deal. And we also believe that in the event of a no deal and a crash out, then the question then needs to be put to the people on the island of Ireland via a unity referendum. That's the question that needs to be put. It's written into our Good Friday Agreement, and that is the only way to guard against the catastrophic implications of Brexit.
Let me ask you about something else, which Karen Brady's comments, which seem to be very confusingly, really, talking about killings rather than crimes. What do you make of what she appeared to say?
Karen Bradley's comments are outrageous, they're disgusting, and they're completely insulting and add an insult to injury to people who have already been bereaved. Karen Bradley's comments today are totally unacceptable and unbefitting of somebody who is a British Secretary of State, someone who knows exactly the facts. She's talking today in relation to Bloody Sunday, because we believe that perhaps there's going to be prosecutions brought towards British soldiers who actually were there on Bloody Sunday and actually who murdered innocent civilians. This British government itself accepted what happened on Bloody Sunday was wrong. This British government apologised and said that what happened on Bloody Sunday was unjustifiable. And I think that Karen Bradley's comments today are absolutely disgusting, and will left an awful lot of families sitting tonight at home very upset and very annoyed about the commentary from a British Secretary of State.
Was this seemingly sloppy language or poor choice of words on her part, or something more deliberate, do you think?
I think regardless of her motivation, her comments are just totally unacceptable. We have people who have lost loved ones, who've been waiting for over 4 decades to get access to legacy mechanisms, to get access to inquests, to get basic information about how their loved ones died. This British government has been procrastinating. This British government actually more so has been deliberately actually withholding information, and we haven't had proper full disclosure of the facts to families. So I think what Karen Bradley said today is out of order, it's crass, it's arrogant, it's absolutely adding insult to injury. I can't even understate to you how bad her comments are.
What should she do then? You're saying it's terrible use of language and all the rest of it. What should she do now?
It's her language actually reflects a litany of language which we have seen from even including the British Prime Minister herself, Theresa May, where she's now talking about legislation to give protections to serving or former British soldiers who were involved in crimes in the island of Ireland. So I think that what I intend to do is, when Karen Bradley's finished speaking in the House of Commons today, I've asked for an urgent phone call with her. She should immediately retract her comments. She should meet with some of these families who've been bereaved. She should meet with some of these families who've been campaigning for over 40 years to get access to inquests and to get access to justice. And I think that it's just typical of the fact that this British Secretary of State, just like everyone who's come before her, actually are so out of step with the people on the island of Ireland, and the fact that we have very special and unique circumstances, and we have come through a conflict and we have a lot of people that have been hurt.